What's up, students, graduates, and those who are working a 9-to-5 job who are probably feeling unsatisfied because they didn't connect their skills, qualities, and gifts to their job, and now they have to pay money to their degree that they paid. What's up, students, graduates, and those working a 9-to-5 job that probably feel unsatisfied and lack of passion because they didn't connect their skills, gifts, and qualities to the degree, which they're now paying a lot of money for. That degree didn't connect to their career, which now comes into a full circle. In this video, I'm going to be interviewing a barber who's going to be giving us the pros and cons, the success and failures, the disadvantages and the advantages to working or having a career as a barber in the year 2024. So let's cut right to it.
Yeah, my name's Kyle Woodley, and I am from Connecticut originally. I moved to Kansas to pursue barbering completely. I was living in Vermont for a little bit, did an apprenticeship there for 3 years.
All right, so the first question is, what did you have to do to become a barber? How long did it take? And how much did it cost?
Well, in order to be a barber, you gotta have your high school diploma or your GED. So I just enrolled into a school and they have a hour program. I want to do 1,500. So once you complete the 1,500, you pay for a test, the state board test, which is a practical and a written exam. The time frame is based on you completing the 15 hours. So for my school, it was like a mom and pop school. Like they had no financial aid, so I had to do it out of pocket. So when I did it was like $8,000 out of pocket.
The next question I have for you is what is a day in the life of a barber?
So a day in the life as a barber, starting out, it's a little bit slower. You have to grind. You have to really find ways to make money. Give discounts. Be by the phone. Be in there every day to take walk-ins to create a clientele. So it's a little bit the grind is real. All right, a day in the life. But like someone who's a barber who's like kind of has clients. You're in there cutting hair from dusk till dawn. You are trying to chop it up with people. You are trying to get along with your coworkers. Another thing is like a day in the life in a bad barbershop can be worse than being in a good barbershop. As a barber, you have to find a shop that suits you. Sometimes you can be in a shop with people who are greedy and money hungry and don't want to support you. It's like they're fighting. It's like you're in a den of sharks. So part of finding a barbershop that is not like that has a good moral set, good communication, being consistent, just being in the shop, cutting hair, listening to music. It's pretty free. It's pretty fun, actually.
What time would you go in the shop sometimes?
So right now, I'm grinding out a little bit more. So my busiest days are Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. So I'm starting at 7 a.m. and I'm leaving at like 8 p.m. sometimes.
Wow.
And that's a long days, but not a lot of barbers do that. But again, I have a goal that I'm trying to reach. The one thing I love about barbering is that you choose your destiny, right? You kind of can be the best you want to be or the worst you want to be. It's all on you. Like you have no holding you back. And for me, I needed that. I was working at Trader Joe's, and they cut my hours. There's times they cut my hours, and there's times that they didn't let me work as much as I want, or they didn't give me a raise because I didn't do well in their eyes when I thought that I was doing well. And so it's just like a lot of people face that in their own in certain careers. Like you don't get a raise or you don't get this or that you want because they think they want you here, or they think this about you. Your worth is based on their view, and that's not true. And I know that I was doing a lot, and so let me work for myself.
How's like the social work balance?
But it's just like, again, that you're your own boss. I can get breakfast and lunch with people whenever I want. So it's all on you. My weekends start. My weekends start Sunday and Monday.
I interrupt this interview to say, don't forget to watch, like, fill out the survey, and subscribe. Let's get it. Let me ask you, Kyle, what was the best and worst part of your job for you?
Yeah, I think again, best part, you can choose my own hours. I can make as much money as I want, or as least money. Flexibility, a lot of flexibility, and it's based on your ambition too. It's freedom. It's kind of catered to you. I can listen to any music I want. I can wear anything I want. I can, do anything I want. Which is, there's some pros and cons in that, because if you don't have a bad character, some guys can cut high,
Yeah.
or drink on the job. You can do that. Yes, it would affect you worse, but no one's gonna fire you. Only your clients are gonna fire you. I love the flexibility. I love that you can choose a shop. You can have camaraderie with them, and you can have brotherhood, and you can support each other. I love how we can support the community. We have the time to do that. People love their barbers. I had a guy who he came to me every week, and he's a Marine, and he said, "Man, closest people in my life is my barber, my pastor." That's what he said. And so I was like, yeah, I guess. But people get close to your barber. Cons, oh my gosh. If you don't have a supportive mat and then even comfortable shoes, your ligaments, like my ankles sometimes hurt. My back sometimes hurt, my lower back, just from standing so long. And so that's a con, like your body. Another con is that just no PTO. Like if I don't go on vacation, I just lost a lot of that money. That's another con. It's like some of your clients can just go to somewhere else. Some people don't like to communicate. They will say, "Oh, you messed me up," and not tell you.
Oh my!
You didn't know. You thought you did a good job, and they wouldn't tell you, and they'll go somewhere else. If you're not communicating well, you can have someone ask you for this haircut, and he meant this. You think it's a 2 and a 1, when they really want a 3 on top, and like
they don't even know.
They don't even know, right? They think you have to ask a lot of questions, ask for pictures, just not assuming that you know what they want. I've had that before. There's times I get this guy walking, the worst part about it was I assumed, like, he came in with a haircut and it wasn't that good. And
came in with a bad haircut?
Yeah, all he wanted was a wash, and I was like, I can cut your hair better than this. He's like, all right. And so I cut his hair, and I didn't ask him where he flips his hair. He flipped it to the right. It was to the left, and I thought it was that way because it was messed up. And I should have asked him how he combs his hair or where he combs his hair, and I cut it the opposite direction.
Yikes.
And so he just was really mad at what I did. One, it wasn't a bad haircut, but it just wasn't what he wanted or the way he is used to how it is. Yep. Struggle part 2 is like even healthcare. Like sometimes healthcare programs are really expensive. Another con is like no one's really paying for your 401k, your retirement. You have to do that yourself because you're LLC. I'm my own business, so I have to literally train my mind to take 10-20% from my income to save it.
What's the monthly pay like for you?
Again, it's building, but average like 6,000 or more. That's an average. But I portion my money out, because I gotta give, I pay myself 40% of that just for personal, and 20% for my savings, and 10% is for just my equipment fund, anything I need in the shop. Some barbers starting out have a 40-50 thing, or like a 40-60 thing. 60% goes to barbershop.
Oh wow.
To you. And that's if you're starting out, right? Yeah. That's every day, like every week, or every week you do a 40-50 kind of thing.
Wow.
Or every day, I don't know how it works, but for my shop, it's like I only give them $600 a month. Like it's nothing. Like,
yeah, seriously,
5 is great.
That's 10%.
And so,
personalities or characteristics do you feel like you have that has helped you on the job?
That's a good question, by the way, because like barber school does teach you that. Like, hey, how are you going to stand out from all the other barbershops or barbers in your state? I try to be genuine. I try to be kind. I try to be considerate. And especially with my booking app, I can text people if I'm a little late. I'm like, hey, I'm late, or let them know when I'm getting out of town. If people need to be squeezed in, kind of be able to do that. But while I'm cutting, asking them questions about their life, getting to know them, If they don't want to talk, not forcing a conversation, just cutting. Being okay that I cut 12 heads and I have 2 more and I'm just fading. And so sometimes my clients are just understanding like, yo, I get it. I try to remember things that we talked about in the past. Let's say like, hey, last time I cut them was they're going to a quinceañera or a party. The next time I cut them, probably 3 weeks, I'd be like, oh, hey, how was that party? So
That's great.
Remembering things about them.
All right, Kyle, last question is any last tips for future barbers?
Yes, I think when you're in school, grind, like act like you're in the shop. Afraid, like this, you're there to mess up. You're there to learn. Be humble to mess up and be humble to learn and get corrected. Passing at your card, finding nice ways and encouraging ways to get people in your chair. Have a goal every week. Like I want to make $100 today. What can I do to make $100 today? Be a learner, man. Like never got it. Even to this day, I cut really well, and I still am looking at other people's cuts. I'm still like, hey, how'd you do that? I'm still asking questions. I'm still looking at barber videos and just trying to better myself. You don't want to be someone that thinks they got it, and then the minute you think you got it, your craft goes down. So forever a learner and be humble. So that's it.
We appreciate Kyle for sharing his thoughts, his wisdom, his experience. Some of the pros is there's flexibility. Another pro is there's freedom. There's a sense of community. So those are some of the pros to being or having a career as a barber. Now, some of the cons to having a career as a barber is your physical health. You want to make sure that you're exercising, you're stretching. Another con to barbering is that there's no PTO, as Kyle mentioned. There's no paid time off. Another con is healthcare. Healthcare and your 401k is not just given to you. It's not provided. Seems like some of the characteristics that you may need to have. First one is being humble. Another thing is that you want to be a relationship builder. The last thing is you want to have some sense of time management skills and budgeting skills. If you want to see another career that I've not talked about before, please comment below. Or if you want me to ask different questions, or if you have a different question that you want to know about, please comment below. All right, Christian Ryan out.